Hello, 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 and welcome back to pretty much the best podcast ever.
Oh,
yeah, it
you're
is.
biased, surely. You must be
slightly biased. But we have my fantastic, very, very, very good friend, Jeff Leach, and I to
Cherie
present
DeVille.
to you, whatever.
The inimitable Cherie DeVille, ladies and gentlemen. I'm a
Big words
comic.
today. Cougar.
This is Convo. It's what we do here.
It is what we do. And what are we talking about today?
Let's bring it up. Jeff Zesniak, get it up on the fucking screen. Let's go. Comic Cougar Convo. Today we're talking about beauty, ladies and gentlemen. It will come up on the screen. There it is.
Oh,
Hey.
there it is. It did. It did. It came late, but it came.
I'm glad. Well, like most great men. Actually, no. They're the opposite. Like most incredible men.
I'm in. You can take time is good.
Coming
take time
late
is good.
Well,
what's late? I like, what's late? Like after she's
Once
gone.
she's already left the
that's
apartment.
too late.
Yeah,
that's a little too late. Then it doesn't really count.
Yeah, she left disappointed, and then I came on my couch. So,
you just jerked off sadly onto your couch.
oh my god, how do we start every episode with some kind of jerk off motion?
It's a podcast with
It is
me.
what it is. What it is. It's what it's always going to be.
I'm here.
Well, we are talking about beauty today, ladies and gentlemen, which I think is a huge thing for both of us. Like,
Oh my god. Well, we're entertainers.
we're in the entertainment
Yeah.
industry, and the entertainment industry is so deeply tied
Yeah.
to the world of beauty. I mean, beauty standards are perceived by whom? Who's in charge of what's beautiful
Who
these
is
days?
in charge of beauty standards? And considering, like, you could easily picture in your mind right now what is considered beautiful in 2024, but it's so
Well, you're
funny.
dressed as someone who their literal
An
name
icon.
is Beauty.
Beauty, exactly.
Or Belle, right?
Belle.
From the movie Beauty and the Beast,
Yeah.
the famous
But
Disney
she is
movie.
the beauty.
Yeah, you literally are the beauty today.
Yeah, and I was pretty young when that movie came out, or all the Disney movies of the past that really, as you know, had a beauty standard of their own.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we got to get into the beauty standards and ever-changing beauty standards.
But you're sitting here with marks all over your face. What have you done?
Yeah,
what have you done for this episode?
Well, this is my concept of beauty. I think I don't really even know what beauty is anymore, and I don't think most people do. Like, we have so many fucked up different perceptions and subjective takes on what beauty is, depending on who you are, where you're from, what your background is, what your experiences have been, etc. What shapes you in terms of what your aesthetic desires are.
Yeah.
But from a mainstream level, the reason I have all of this written on my face is surgery. I feel like surgery is a huge part of beauty, especially in the world of entertainment.
Yeah.
And one that I think plagues a lot of people with a lot of misery.
Yeah,
So,
I'm sure we both know a lot of people who have had a lot of surgeries, and not all for the better.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I also wanted to thank Cherie's co-stars who have provided the gown, the hospital gown today.
That's a pre-used hospital gown, just so you know.
So if I notice anything that feels a little bit crunchy
A little
on it,
crunchy, a little crispy.
then we know what that is.
Yeah.
So you have had sex with someone in this gown?
Yes.
We get closer and closer to it.
I know.
Last episode we were talking about your toys and me potentially trying one out.
I know,
for some
and
behind the
now
scenes
you're
content.
wearing my sloppy second.
I'm getting closer, ladies and gentlemen. Who knows? We might go full sin one day. Depends.
If we do, it'll be right here on the podcast, just for our Patreons.
Oh yeah, it depends how many Patreon pledges we get. Speaking of which, go check us
You're
out.
just whoring it up. You're like, well, if I were to get X number.
I'm intrigued. I mean, I would have previously.
How many Patreon pledges would you need
That's a good question. I have previously
to put your dick on the internet?
Well, I previously said that I would never. Oh, my dick has to be on the internet somewhere
But
anyway.
to monetize your dick on the internet.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's an interesting question. I would have never done that previously because I was in a committed relationship
Sure. But like you as a human and you as a committed person, it's different.
I don't know. I mean, it'd be interesting. I wonder whether I would have sex on camera. Time will tell. We'll find out. We'll find out.
So it's more about I love that it's more about your comfort level, even than if it's 2 million Patreons.
It doesn't matter. Nah, money, it's not about money for me. I mean, more, would there be a reason for doing it that I think would be interesting or fun?
Yeah.
I mean, I had sex with someone on a documentary that I was making about male escorting where I had sex with a client for money. But that
I remember that story. That's so good.
For the immersive documentary, Male Hookers Uncovered. Anyway, listen, if you want to find out if it's a possibility, go to our Patreon, patreon.com/Comic Cougar Convo. No at on the Patreon. Patreon.com/Comic Cougar Convo. Go and look at the different tiers because you will get a bunch of behind the scenes stuff. You get photos.
Maybe his dick.
And maybe one day my dick will be on it. You're trying to get people to sign up. not block it forever. But there will be some photos on there, some sexy, some not, from myself and Cherie, plus some behind-the-scenes stuff that we shoot that you never see on any of the YouTube channel.
Yep.
And you get the episodes 24 hours in advance before anyone else.
Huge.
And you get an opportunity to reach out to us personally, be involved in the show. We got some questions again this week for some wonderful viewers. So make sure you do check that out, patreon.com/Comic Cougar Convo. And also make sure you sub up on the YouTube, which is youtube.com/.
You have to. Comic Cougar Convo.
There you go. You'll find it. Go and be part of it. All right, cool. So
find
we
us.
know what we're presenting today aesthetically, but let's talk about these changing beauty standards, because I feel like if we looked at any 20-year period, maybe that's a good.
Well, yeah, like I was saying, like you can imagine what's hot right now. What the
is hot
beauty
right
standard.
now? What is hot right now in the mainstream
I feel like
beauty
the
standards?
super curvy tit implants, waist liposuction, big
BBLs.
ass, the BBLs. I feel like the BBL body is super in right now.
Although the Kardashians are having them removed, I think that's changing.
Oh,
I think,
are they?
Yeah. I think we're coming
Are we at
to
the end of the BBL era? But that just says, like, I lived through, we were talking about in the other episode, heroin chic, where like if you weighed over 100 pounds, you were hideous. And now we're, somewhere else where if you don't have massive curves, or back in the day, all the paintings had nice, like beautifully plump women with nice stomachs. Like it changes all the time.
And for men as well. Like you're talking about through history, not only in terms of painting and capturing what used to be gorgeous, like the concept of a curvy woman that was ripe for birthing, fertile. That was like sexy.
Yeah.
And again, is
and
maybe
not
now.
poor, well fed. Like it had a lot of connotations.
You're right, actually.
Yeah.
The size of a woman or a man was relating to their wealth and their
Aristocracy
status.
almost,
Yeah. Henry V and all that business. Like, he was like, oh, look at him, he's a hot piece of bearded ass. Although he will take your head off if you
He will. He did.
Yeah, if you don't give
take
the
a
head,
lot of
he'll
head
take the head. That's
I
how-
wonder if that was it. They just weren't good enough at sucking dick.
Probably. Catherine of Aragon. Everyone knows
Or it
she
was like
her
a
sloppy
kink.
toppy
He
was
did it
second to
all
none.
while they were sucking dick.
Oh my God. Well, then you'd run the risk of losing your penis as well. I was going to say though, because if it's in the head when you do it.
Where are you chopping the head, and how far back is the dick going? He was hung.
Cherie, I'm just basing that on my own size. Anyway, listen. What I was going to say is for the men's side of things, and this is something that a lot of people don't know. In ancient Greece, for instance, all the statues you see of ancient Greek men, they all have great bodies, physically very muscular bodies, like they really work, but the minuscule, tiny penises. And you know the reason for that?
Small. I don't know the reason.
I do. I'm going to give you some.
But I would give them the most vicious small penis humiliation ever.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. It's not okay.
People watching right now immediately signing up to your OnlyFans, just like, oh my God.
Like, I want it. I want it.
I want
Tell
that
me it's a
personalized
tiny
video.
little tic-tac.
Tell me it's nothing. Tell me it's nothing.
Yeah.
But the reason for that was not because I guess all the Greeks were walking around with tiny, minuscule penises.
It isn't?
No,
I thought they were.
The concept was that to have a small penis meant it was less distance for your seed to travel from, which is the godliness. That's what they considered godliness, the creation of another human.
Okay.
The less time it took to get from balls to ovaries to into the woman was more godly. You were considered more godly. So that's why all of these gods, these statues of these gods, which just sounds like
Someone
a bunch
with
of dudes.
Small dick made that up.
This sounds like literally the most ridiculous overcompensation for small dick men.
They'd be all driving Ferraris in 2024.
Exactly.
They'd all have those loud, flashy cars.
Hey, baby, I know I've only got 2 inches, but you can literally feel the Jesus.
You can feel him.
You can feel the Hercules in my balls when I come. Yeah.
Spray the Hercules.
Yeah, exactly. Is that the seed of Jupiter? You're rocking a 1-incher. You know what I mean?
He probably came fast too. Faster the better.
For real.
Closer to God.
That was literally what it was. It was like the concept that it was godly to have a smaller penis.
They hated their penises.
Which is weird. Yeah. Or maybe they just had tiny cocks. I don't know what it was. But that was the reason for all the statues looking like that.
I now have no idea what the rest of the episode is on. I'm just thinking about these dicks.
Tiny dicks.
I just have dicks on the brain, just a sea of them.
Well, you are dressed as a Disney princess. If you were Snow White, tiny dicks would be a thing, wouldn't it? Just 7 of them.
Look, just because they were small men did not mean they had small dicks.
Oh, and you can speak from...
And I can speak from experience. Height and dick size is not necessarily a correlation. Really?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. All right. Yeah.
So, you
All
never
right.
know.
Any
That could have been an
particular
amazing
performers? Any
gangbang.
particular performers you're thinking of there? No. Have you had sex with a little person on camera
No, but
yet?
I've seen a lot of
You just-
little people dicks. Yeah.
Where are you going to see a little? You just got a few people drunk at a
Do you
Christmas
not have
party.
the internet?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I do. That's not the number one thing that I'm searching up. Is
Not
like,
even the number 10?
how big are little people's
Google it.
penises?
Straight to Pornhub with you.
They're not all gigantic though. You're making
No, but
it out.
it's like a normal range of dicks. And when you have a 9 or 10 incher on someone whose stature is 4 feet, that's an impressive hog.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Technically is a tripod at that point.
Technically, could be.
Changing mainstream
do
beauty
that.
standards. Here's the thing. I mean, like, look, they change depending on where you are in the world and where you are in history.
Yeah.
Why? Why is that? Who's controlling that, do you think?
I don't think anyone's controlling it.
Really?
Do you think there's like a secret like council that meets somewhere in the United States that says, you know what?
Entirely made up of
this
little
year
people.
bitches are going to be curvy.
Yeah.
Is that's it's all a pure little people council that decides what? No. I feel like it has a lot to do with like other cultural things, just like being super pale used to be super, super, super in. And then Coco Chanel goes on vacation, gets tan, and now all of a sudden tanning is in,
So
and
you
it
think
took
it's
off from
controlled
there.
then by icons in fashion
celebrity,
and beauty?
people look up to. Yeah. And then other like you even brought it before, like sexual signals, like I think like a lot of the lip injections, a lot of the wanting long, shiny hair, or a lot of like signs of fertility are always going to be biologically sexy. Nice hips on someone is like biologically sexy.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
I do look at a pair of birthing hips and think,
Yeah.
this is my tiny godly seed
Yeah.
is gonna get in there so fast.
So fast.
Yeah, and if
You
you're
won't
gonna,
even know we fucked.
if you're gonna give birth to a demigod, you got to have powerful thighs to make that happen. And in an Amazonian warrior princess for my tiny Grecian dick, I don't know. I disagree with you. I think that there is an industry, a big money industry behind beauty, behind fashion.
Yeah.
And I think that the ever swinging concept of what's hot right now, whether it used to be heroin chic of Kate Moss and
But like,
Tyra
why would
Banks,
that monetize better?
Well, no, but I just think you have to keep the industry fresh, and I think if you look at the entire course of human history, it's never been fresh. It's just swung from one extreme to the other,
That's
to
so
the
true.
other,
Yeah.
to the other, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So I really truly think every 20 years they go, hey, guess what? It's on vogue right now to be super fit and healthy. That's the thing, and to be very thin and muscular.
But I would
guess
argue-
what? Now it's all about curves and big asses and.
Yes. But and you are completely right. Since we've had television, printed,
Yeah.
magazines, all that stuff, that has been true. But I'd like to argue that there were beauty standards way before that in
Sure.
Cleopatra's
Powdered
days.
wigs,
Yeah.
arsenic on
yeah,
their
yeah,
faces.
yeah,
They
yeah.
used
So
to,
who
like,
did that?
The ruling classes again. The ruling classes.
Yeah.
You know, you're fucking the Duke of the Lord Fauntleroy of.
But that's me.
Buckinghamshire.
Everyone's like a celebrity. They're copying you.
I get what you're saying, yeah.
Maybe
and you know
it's
what?
both.
But they used to have those beauty standards, for instance, in ancient history. Like, if we're talking about the Renaissance period, and, the powdered wigs and the white makeup,
The corsets and the
all of that stuff was to cover ailments. That was relating to health.
Oh,
so a lot of
Jesus.
these people didn't have their own hair because like maintaining your hair was not something that happened. So it was easier to put on a white powdered wig, and underneath it you'd barely have
like
any
a
hair
mess.
on it. Yeah, for real. And you'd have knits and things like that, stuff that they just didn't
God.
treat properly. So they would almost cut
Like
the
a
hair.
sore or something.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
The marks was after the pox, after people had like lots of skin
the
issues
scars,
and lesions.
yeah.
Especially if you've got like gout and blah blah. You know, then you have your little white knee socks.
Yeah,
you have
yeah,
your hands
yeah.
covered up with white
Yeah.
gloves. You have a powdered face. You can't see all the lesions and stuff. So that's really
my
what it used to
God.
be about.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like OG foundation.
And the only difference is now people are getting implants stuck in their assholes or into their bodies, you know, BBLs and things like that, and
Yeah.
having stuff sucked and stuff
Removed,
and
placed.
I think it's the same illness. It's just a different type of illness, but it's still relating to illness. It's relating
Do
to
you think
mental
that
health illness a lot of the time.
everyone
body
who gets
dysmorphia.
surgery has a mental health illness.
No, absolutely not. I'm not going to make that.
Aesthetic surgery.
I think that there has to be some level of discomfort in your own skin.
Dissatisfaction.
To go out and get it to change your body.
What about the people that do it just for money? Just because they feel that the body they were born with isn't as sellable as a different type of body.
Are you talking about yourself?
No, I do know one person who has done that purposefully, though.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's still an unhealthy way to view your body as a product.
Yeah.
Necessarily, you know?
Well, all our bodies are products. Whether you're using your brain or your fine motor skills or your...
Yeah, but no. Like, yeah, no, I disagree. I'm glad we're finally disagreeing on some things. Because no, I disagree. I don't think that the body has to be a product. I think it's a vessel that takes us from A to B. A being birth, B being death.
Well, just in our jobs.
And yeah, but there's a multitude.
In our capitalistic environment, we have to think of something to do for work. And I think all of those things include our bodies.
No. There's plenty of people working from home on their laptops who haven't done a single thing with their bodies in any way, shape, or form.
Do you feel like your brain is your body?
Yeah. Oh, I mean, no, your brain is an internal organ. So no, it doesn't feel like it's the aesthetic. It's not the aesthetic outdoor body. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right, but then you're just saying using your looks. Like, what about an athlete? Would you say that they're using their body?
What about a teacher? A teacher's not necessarily using their body as a product. They're using their ability to connect, their empathy, their ability to teach, their oration.
Sure.
You know, their knowledge, their wisdom. That's what they use in their job. They don't really use their body unless they're a physical education teacher.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so in the same way, I feel like if you're working at home as a marketing, advertising person, but you work from home, you work at your office, you could have a very healthy, fit body if that's what you choose, or you could have a very slovenly, unfit, unhealthy body if that's what you choose as well. And those two things will be perfectly okay. Your physical body can be whatever you want it to be and should be under your own control.
I would argue that your physical body's health affects everything you do with your brain. And I think using your brain, like we all use our bodies, but you're just putting all cognitive tasks in like athletes are over here and like desk workers are over here.
No,
using their body and not using their body.
Hey, listen, Fox News. Hey, listen, CNN and Fox News, whichever one you're trying to catch me out on right now. My best friend trying to fucking cancel me over here. Listen,
oh God,
someone took it personally. In fact, why did you take it personally? Did you take it personally because you have augmented your body?
I have augmented my body.
Tell me about what's been going on with your body. Go on.
The first cosmetic surgery I have was my boobs when I was 30.
What did you go from and to?
I went from a 32C to a 32 double D.
Wow, 32C is a very sizable and buxom breast. That's a good size.
They were pretty nice titties.
That's a lovely breast size.
I had a nice rack, and my doctor still has my before and afters on the website, and it's a nice rack before and after.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And what was the reason for going from a 32C to a 32 double D for you then?
2 Ds are better than one. No, I wanted big tits. I wanted really big tits.
But is this pre-industry, pre-porn industry?
Oh, yeah.
So you just went...
I just really wanted bigger tits. I wanted to look like I had huge boobs in my shirt on the beach.
Why? Let's go deeper. Was it personal?
I love big boobs.
So were you uncomfortable with the size of breasts you had? Did you feel like you were lacking with those size of breasts? Or do you think there was any influence from what the world has told us is sexy and is beautiful? The bigger the boobs, the better. Is it a bit of that?
I'm sure there was some influence from that, but I already had for mainstream or modeling or anything, I already had reasonably sized tits.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that's part of it, but I personally love big boobs. Like my first multiple girlfriends had huge boobs, like way bigger than these boobs. I really like tits, and I wanted to look in the mirror and see big tits.
And when you looked in the mirror and you saw 32C breasts, which are pretty sizable. They were fine,
but they weren't the titties I wanted in my mouth. How did it make you feel? Like they should be bigger so that people like me would want them in their mouths.
There you go. So it's a desire.
A desire. I want it to be more desirable.
To other people as well as to yourself.
Absolutely.
See, I feel like there's a little part of that is mildly unhealthy.
Yeah. Well, if you weren't as attractive as you objectively are.
Thank you, Cherie.
Right? So you've had an easy time, as I think I have too, getting sexual partners in your life.
Oh, yes.
Okay. So what if you didn't have an easy time getting sexual partners?
Yeah, no.
You knew that or you felt that modifying something might bring in more partners. Would you do it?
I think if someone has a very unhealthy relationship with their physical body, or we can even take this a bit further and say, like, I mean, I don't necessarily want to, I think this is a subject matter for another time, but people who are uncomfortable in the gender of body they're in, etc.
Sure.
I think if you want to do whatever you want to do to your own body, as long as you're not hurting anyone else, crack on.
Do it.
You want to look like a fucking cat, look like a cat. Do what you need to do to feel good in yourself.
Yeah.
But I also don't think that we should overlook the fact that there's probably part of that is born out of a deeply unhealthy cultural aspect to our own bodies, which is no one's good enough in what they were born into.
Well, especially, I think it's changing a lot, even in my lifetime, like the messaging that we give women as what your value is. Like, I even had a friend tell me, like, that she had 3 sisters, and one was the talented one was the smart one,
one was the hot one,
the pretty one.
Yeah.
Even from the parents, like, just to have that as,
and
like,
that was their favorite one because it was nice to kiss her on the cheek, whereas the other two,
they were kind of, they look like they should probably get a badge.
You've got a degree from Harvard because you are a fucking strain to look at.
Tough.
Yeah, Susie.
Even the mother. It was tough. Yeah.
Damn, man. I get what you're saying. If I was uncomfortable in a part of my physical form where I felt it affected my ability to connect with human beings in the way I wanted to, would I change it? I think maybe. Yeah, I think the answer is quite likely to be yes. I think I'm
just saying you have a lot of pretty privilege.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Objectively. Because objectively, I'm attractive to whom? To a certain demographic. This is another thing I wanted to talk about. Like, we've not only beauty through the ages, but beauty through the races as well.
Yeah.
I know that, for instance, black girls in England, generally not a huge fan of my aesthetic. Weirdly, black girls in America, way more into what I represent. I don't know what it is, but it's got to be American culture or black American culture differing.
All cultures do have different beauty standards around the world, even within the United States.
I know a bunch of
city people that live in more rural areas, it's always going to be different.
That's what I'm saying. Culturally, racially,
or even just Los Angeles has a look.
Yeah.
You know it does.
True.
Yeah.
True. And so I've seen that what one person thinks could be gorgeous, sometimes I don't know if you need to change yourself. This is what I'm saying is I don't know if I get the surgery because sometimes it's not about changing yourself. It's about changing your location to a place where people find what you are to be gorgeous.
Right, but what if that means me moving to, like, somewhere incredibly far away? Like,
maybe that's what you need to do to be happy.
If only I were beautiful if I lived in Japan or something.
Well, there you go. Wouldn't that be hot? Maybe you go out to Japan and just fuck a load of
and you're the shit. You
godly
just have
men.
Like
just a ton of godly Asian dudes. Just
so godly.
Gorgeous dicks everywhere. Yeah.
They get the seed in fast.
Hairless.
Why are they hairless?
Because they're evolved beyond us. So they don't have to spend thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars waxing their bodies like white women do. Do you know what I mean? Seriously, though, because there's a lot... No, but that's a fact. Like, a lot of Asian people...
They're not hairless.
No, but a lot of Asian people grow less body hair on average than white women, for instance, or white men.
I thought, like, part of your kink was, like, hairless Asian men. I'm like, you've really painting a very specific picture.
I like my Asian men like I like my cats, like Sphinx cats, just wrinkly and smooth.
Is it more the smooth or the wrinkle?
Super old, smooth Asian dudes. That's what I'm into. No, I mean I'm into all different types of things, and you know, I just mean like what is perceived as gorgeous in one place can be perceived as completely ugly in another place.
Absolutely.
And sometimes, if we were a more global, unified world, becoming.
Yeah.
Are we being coerced to become more divided? I don't know. That's a bigger question for another time. But I think what I'm saying is I don't know if necessarily people need to change themselves. I think sometimes changing your own space or your location could be a healthier way to do it. I'm just throwing it out as a theory.
And I'm still saying you probably get more pussy than a lot of guys. And I think some of it is based on your looks. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Fair enough. It is fair enough. So, okay, listen.
Yeah.
We're both in entertainment, right?
Sure.
And we just went through like that huge writer's strike, huge actor's strike, and a lot of it was based on using your likeness.
Oh yeah, AI
as
is
AI.
a huge part of it.
You know, so in terms of beauty, like, do you think in the future we're going to be able to know like create what is beautiful digitally,
It's already
even
happening.
know what people
It's already
look
happening.
like, you know,
This is
and
what I'm
how will
saying.
that change? Because I know like Snapchat filters, for example, created a huge amount of people going to doctors and trying to get like filter-based plastic surgery. I mean, what do you think? The future
It's already
of that?
happening. It's already been happening for the last 20 years, I think, with the rise of social media apps. And as soon as filters and overlays became a part of it, or programs that allow you to cinch that waist,
in your photos,
soften those lines, you know, blah, 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 blah. For a good decade to 2 decades, we have been presented a very false version of what beauty is. But actually,
even ourselves, like, and I'm guilty of that too. I airbrush my stuff. I do all of those things online. I use filters on Instagram.
Wow, I've never done that in my entire life. And the beauty you see on my social medias is 100% me.
It's so real.
No, I mean, no, actually, to be fair, I haven't done a lot of that. I'll tell you what I have done previously. I've definitely softened my skin. If I'm like taking a photograph outside and every wrinkle and every blemish is showing up, I've removed a blemish. I've like softened like wrinkles on my forehead before a couple of times. I stopped doing that because I realized it just like, I think I just want to be more confident in being sexy as I am.
Also, you and I are both, yes, we post photos, but people have plenty of opportunities to see us moving in real life.
Absolutely,
like they know what we actually look like.
Sure. With a dick in our throats.
Yeah, both of us.
Or, exactly. Exactly. And me, that's just me trying to get a Netflix special. No, I agree with you. I think that the rise of the filter has absolutely bastardized what we think is beautiful and
or realistic,
what's real,
even
what is real beauty anymore. Because I don't think much of
everyone
it's
looks
presented.
like.
It's now gotten so far that you have like AI generated models that are not even real human beings.
Like completely, like they're not based on, they're just the AI ones. Yeah, I've
literally
seen that.
completely AI fabricated models and influencers who are now being created in videos.
Do not exist.
And exactly. The fake influencer program. Here we go. Aitana Lopez, an AI influencer with more than 243,000 followers on Instagram, earns up to $11,000 a month and gets paid $1,000 per post to advertise products from brands like lingerie retailer Victoria's Secret and hair care line.
Fake things are launching real products
for people that are never going to look like those fake versions of it. Which
but she's not even putting on the real Victoria's Secret lingerie.
Exactly. Or doesn't even have real hair. This is the point. Like the concept you can have a hair company.
Right. How can she even say it made my hair better? You don't have hair.
Well, this is what my follow-up thought is on this. How far do you think we're away from going full send, which is no longer even just presenting ourselves as faked or bastardized with filters, AI influencers, etc. How far are we away from going full send, which is the film Avatar? You know, literally taking yourself out of your physical body.
Like, are you saying metaverse?
I mean, I'm saying like that, but in the real world, like, are we going to end up in a situation where people
like
don't
we're
even
in pods and like living a fake life in a computer?
Exactly,
like Ready Player One style.
Basically, we don't live in our own bodies anymore. We choose the avatar we wish to walk around in. I want to be Cherie DeVille. I want to have that perfectly tight butthole.
Yeah, just like mine.
Just like hers. Check out the Dr. What is it, Doc Johnson?
Yes, Doc Johnson.
There you go.
It's the Cougar and Kitten toy with me and Danny Daniels.
It's got a front, it's got a back. You've got the time.
Got my back.
Go get one.
Yeah.
But for real, like, how far are we away from potentially going, you know what, I'm so unhappy in my own body. I'm trying to live up to these unobtainable beauty standards presented by filters and AI-generated visuals and aesthetics and influences. And I am just going to live, I'm going to live in a body that's not even mine.
Well, would you? Well, first of all, would you?
Not me, no. I want to feel the physical, tangible experience of jumping off a rock and running through the woods. And
specifically jumping off a rock. I mean, that's one of the best feelings ever.
To be honest, I think the best things you can do with your body is not be judged by other people. It's no, I'm serious. It doesn't make me feel good to put myself out there to be aesthetically judged by people, which is why I'm so at odds with my own career in entertainment. What makes me feel good about having a physical body and about what I think is beautiful for me is when I've done a day's climbing and hiking and
or like physical
and
work.
You're sweaty and your muscles are all popping a little bit because you've done something. That to me is the sexiest I look.
Yeah.
Which also, ironically, you know when you've just finished fucking each other, and
the pheromones are flying, the skin is glistening, the pump is happening.
Oh, the pump's there.
The pump is there. If you've done it right, the pump is there.
That's when I think I'm the hottest I'm ever.
Yeah, no one has perfectly styled hair or anything anymore.
But it looks good because
it's like very real.
It's got wave from the fucking the tears and the squirt and the tears.
That's why we're so popular. People see us at our best.
Yeah, exactly. So I feel like that's I would never put myself in an avatar, but would you? Because you've done some augmenting already.
So what do you mean? Like make myself an avatar, or like live in the whole thing?
Let me create a scenario.
Okay, I'm ready.
You're now 70 years of age, but the technology exists that
I'm still hot. Continue.
Of course you're hot, but you're hot 70 years hot.
70.
And now, but the industry is still very much into younger models, right? Younger women.
Are they? But continue.
It is, unfortunately. Yes, it is. It is. There's always going to be a section of people who appreciate beauty as it matures, but. You get the option to have an avatar. They're going to recreate the Cherie at 30.
Or do like a 20-year-old Cherie, one they've never seen.
And you can change your hair on demand, your eyes. There's never a blemish on your skin or anything. It's a physical avatar. You will get in a little pod. It will upload your conscious, or you control it mentally through the computerized brain it has, and you could live in that body. Would you spend more time, do you think, in that 20, 30-year-old version of Cherie?
No, I would just do it for work.
But you would do it?
For work, yeah. To monetize, absolutely. Like if I was physically incapable of shooting porn, or thought that I could augment my 7-year-old porn with other porn,
you're capable of shooting it.
Then I would do a bunch of 7-year-old content for the GILF lovers out there. We know who you are. And I would make content for a more diverse audience as a younger version of me. But not 24/7, just like a regular work schedule.
And where are the limits on that, though? See, because once it's no longer a physical human body, where are the limits?
Ask,
when do we get the Jeffrey Epstein Island Part 2?
Yeah.
Where he goes, well, these aren't real kids. Do you know what I mean? No, I'm serious. Like that's where this shit could go down.
What do you think just talking about like pornography, for example, because what do you think the limits should be? Should they continue to be the current legal limits, or since everyone's fake, should it be a free-for-all?
That's what I'm saying. It becomes
like furries.
It becomes
a
human
form.
rights issue. Eventually, you go, well, hang on a sec. If someone wants to watch the pornography of this very young-looking girl, but she's technically the actress was 18, but she doesn't look it. You know what I mean? But this is an avatar body, so it's okay. We can de-age that a bit. I'm just saying. I think there's quite a scary.
There's a terrifying gray area there.
A terrifying gray area.
And not just for like age-based, but like people as furries. So now are we going to do the whole animal
fuck
human?
Scarlett Johansson. She doesn't actually want to fuck me.
Right.
But I'm going to go and pay
for
an AI model to be made up, or a synthetic version of her to be made up. So now I'm fucking Scarlett Johansson without her fucking consent. Right. Do you see what I mean?
Here's a question.
This is this fear.
I don't think it exists yet.
By the way,
but
Scarlett,
do you think
if you're watching, that's not the case. I'm not trying to.
It is.
I respect you.
For me.
You do want to fuck Scarlett Johansson.
Do.
Really?
Yeah, I really do. No?
Nah, sorry. She's a beautiful lady. It's just not my type. It's not my type.
Really?
Yeah, she's not my type.
Oh, okay, you and I have different types. I'm like, my mind can't even. I forgot my question. I'm so upset.
How do you feel about Taylor Swift?
She's okay.
Yeah. See, I mean, it's not my type. I'm not into like.
I mean, she's a good-looking woman, but I'm not like, wow, really I need it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just okay.
Except for Cherie DeVille.
Obviously, I'm Canadian, but it's
there. You go. Big difference. All right, yeah, cool.
We're from the north. Do you think that it should be like a human right to own your likeness? Like, should Scarlet get to have that, like, not be a legal
100%.
option?
You are the original copy.
By being born as it, not by paying $100,000 to copyright it, but just inherently.
You are the original copy. You should own all rights to your likeness.
Automatically, right?
But that's already changing. AI has already changed that.
It's not going to happen, but...
Rights to likeness. What
about your voice? What if they took your voice and started doing all your voiceovers, all your character acting, all your...
Yeah, they've already started to try and steal. I've had a couple of programs that I've had to take some legal action against for trying to steal lines from other projects I did. Yeah. It's already happening. This is what I'm saying. I think this is much further along than people know. I fucking hope so, yeah.
No, do you?
Yeah, I do. Technically, at this point,
Did you have to do something to own you?
No, I still own me.
What the fuck is this conversation?
I mean, we've gone down a thing. You know what? Actually, I want to bring it round quickly to what you guys are thinking, because we have been asking you guys to drop us questions each time from our viewers, which might steer us in the right direction.
Yeah.
If you want to do
we
that,
have derailed, but Susie is going to get us back on track.
Susie will. And make sure, if you want to be a part of that, if you want to be part of the conversation in the future, not only check out and make sure you sub to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/@Comic Cougar Convo, Comic Cougar Convo, although Congo could be a great episode one day. And also make sure you check out our Patreon and become a sub over there, our Patreon pledge at patreon.com/Comic Cougar Convo, and that way you can send us
mostly the
thoughts.
Patreon, because that's how we are getting questions from our fans.
Yes.
And even though we got some of these from our sites, in the future they're all going to be from Patreon.
They're all going to be through the Patreon, so make sure you do
that's
that.
Definitely a perk.
Do you want to kick off?
Susie, I do.
Who's your first question?
Question number 1 is from Susie. She asks, beauty standards seem to fluctuate with weight standards. Is this healthy for the human body?
What do you think?
Are you... I'm not exactly sure what she's asking. Like, is she...
She's talking about what we were talking about earlier, I guess, which... it's hot to be skinny and heroin chic, and then 10 years, 20 years later, it's hot to have a gigantic bum and big breasts.
I think both can be incredibly unhealthy.
Yeah.
I know for a fact that starving yourself, not getting the nutrients can kill you. It ruins your internal organs. It's desperately unhealthy. But on the other end of the spectrum, it's been shown that every additional pound of fat can be up to a mile of capillaries, which puts strain on the heart. And at least with insulin, it can change the way that your insulin binds, causing your pancreas to work overtime, potentially giving you a shorter amount of time before you get diabetes. So there are dangers.
You'll start an episode talking about like sucking some dicks.
I love some dicks.
And then halfway through it, you just go, and if you didn't know, your capillaries are actually 12 miles long. And you come out with this pub quiz knowledge. This is the beautiful duality of Cherie DeVille, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm really baller and Trivial Pursuit.
I'm hardcore in this. This is my, I'm simple. My concept to Susie's question is pretty simple. I think mainstream beauty standards throughout the course of history have always been unhealthy. And I think that
achieving something your body doesn't want to do is unhealthy.
I just think they're unhealthy in general.
Yeah.
We're presented with extremes 9 times out of 10, not a well-balanced thing. Even in the world of fitness, we see like beauty and fitness are so tied now. Even those are quite extreme. Like
they're
the concept.
so extreme. I think you'd need supplements to achieve
you should
what
only
those people
be
are
eating
achieving.
a raw paleo diet and then taking a shit once in the morning, and then you should hold your shit for the rest of the day, and then drink your own piss, but make sure you also only use the cream that comes from the cow, but make sure you don't, because everything's too extreme.
That's your diet.
It's all too extreme.
Yeah.
So I think Susie, I don't think any of it's healthy, Susie, if I'm honest. I think being healthy is understanding your own body.
Conforming to something somebody else thinks you should do is at the very least mentally unhealthy.
Absolutely.
And often physically unhealthy as well.
Absolutely.
You know, I think your doctors and your numbers and your blood work should determine if you're healthy, not the aesthetic.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Susie, we nailed it. You're right. Thanks for prompting us, and we've agreed. We can all agree on that one.
Yeah, for once. Tentative.
And that's a Comic Cougar Convo promise. All right, okay. Question number 2. This is one comes from Kevin. Kevin asks, what do you guys? What do we find beautiful? Height, weight, race, age, etc. All the things. What do you find? What do you find beautiful when you think of beautiful? What do you picture?
I mean, I definitely have an aesthetic type.
Big titties on women, apparently.
It is. Big natural titties in women.
Oh.
Specifically. I know I have a boob job, but there's nothing like a natural set of boobs. It's so good.
So you like big breasts on women. What else do you find beautiful?
I usually like women that are on the more feminine side aesthetically. I love long hair, feminine clothing. A lot of my girlfriends have had kind of like Scarlett Johansson, like a bigger lip. I love a poofy lip.
How
Not
poofy? How poofy is poopy? Poofy though, because like sometimes
none were poopy.
I mean, it depends what shoot you were doing, but some of the lips can get like blown out. You're not talking to like blown out kind of fish lips sort of thing.
More like I'm not as in now. Fillers can be nice. But I think if you overdo it, I don't like that vibe. But a natural full lip is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about you?
Well, I do have a natural full lip. Thanks for
Do you?
asking. No, what do I think is beautiful?
Yeah, what's your type?
I'm going to actually answer the question very specifically. Kevin said height, weight, race, age,
okay.
etc.
Yeah, I can
I'm going to be really direct. I'll be really honest. What do I find most sexy? Height, I have no preference. I have been...
No preference?
Nope, because I've been really turned on by...
7 feet, 4 feet.
I mean, I've been really turned on by like really petite girls who are quite short.
Sure.
And I've been really turned on by tall, strong, Amazonian, athletic women.
Sure.
So height doesn't mean anything to me, although it is fun to pick up someone a little bit smaller. I kind of find as a big guy, I'm slightly turned on by picking up. Jeff Sesnick, our producer, is also nodding away. He's 6'7" and I'm 6'4". It's something sexy about being that big man and picking a woman up and like being able to like
do fun stuff.
Well, I was going to be more overt and direct and just say like sliding a woman onto your penis, erect penis in a standing position is fun. Yeah. It's fun being able to do that.
The standing fuck is a good fuck.
It really is.
It really is.
Obviously,
especially if you don't even have to be up against the wall. Like I'm down to do it up against the wall.
Yeah, just like hooking under the back of the legs. And
it does. It's nice. Yeah.
And does it feel good for a woman to be like, oh, he just picked me up and
for me, I like
impaled me on his cock like Vladimir.
Well, I enjoy a good power dynamic. So for me, it's good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. And then in terms of weight, I've actually dated women of all different weights. Like I've dated very curvy women who would be, I guess, considered obese. And then also women who are quite thin. I will say that it's bigger turn off for me to have a woman that is too thin.
Oh, absolutely.
Unhealthily thin than unhealthily heavy.
Yeah.
I actually am more turned off by that.
I don't want a bag of bones. I really don't. And I don't like someone who is, for at least in the female form, I like a little bit of shape because I like a feminine look.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah, you like a curve to the bum, a curve to the breast and stuff, and curve to the hips. I'll say from a weight point of view, what I find most beautiful though, actually, is strength, physical strength. And I'm not talking about like muscle chicks. I'm not trying to get picked up and fucking dominated by a woman with a, we were talking about on a previous episode about the engorged penis-sized clitoris.
Giant clitoris.
From the testosterone and the steroids. I'm not looking for that. But when I like a woman to be healthy and strong in her body. And so she can be super petite and thin, but if it's strong and muscular, that's turn on. Or she could be big and curvy, but if it's because she lifts and she does athletic things and she moves and that's how her body naturally becomes strong. Sure. I think I'm into strength.
You're into strength. You don't want someone who like won't go hiking, won't go snowboarding, can't like physically spend a day working on an outdoor project. That's not cool.
I want to hike with you to the top of a mountain and fuck the shit out of each other on the mountaintop.
And still have enough breath.
Yeah.
To fuck the shit out of each other. Yeah. Don't get to the top of the mountain and be exhausted. It's not for you.
That's super sexy to me. That's what I find beautiful. Race is an interesting one because as you know, like my ex-partner was Jamaican, Puerto Rican. Yeah. I've dated women from all over the world, from every kind of background. Asia, Southern Asia, Northern Asia, obviously from the Americas, South America. I think as I get older, and this is indicative of my own cultural understanding of myself and what makes me feel good, I'm more drawn to people that are not aesthetically the same as me.
Sure.
I don't fetishize.
That has a biological validity too.
Well, there's two things. I think one part of it is my body yearning to have children that have a strong immune system.
Yeah, genetically diverse.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I think there's a part of me that craves that. Like, I want my babies to be a mixture of everything. If I have children, to be a mixture of everything.
Oh, your body knows.
Because then also, I just think I'm like almost, I think just white English and white American chicks.
Well, that's what you grew up with. So many white people.
It's boring to me. I want the mystery of something different.
Well, I want to talk to you about like the biological diversity because I think it's super legit. They did one really interesting study where it was men just running on treadmills, getting their shirts sweaty. Okay. And then women smelling the shirts. And they found the people they were related to, they found that they smelled worse in their opinion.
The ones that were closer in terms of their racial and cultural.
Smelled worse to them. And the people that were the most diverse genetically smelled the best to them. Damn. So like, I feel like that's super fucking valid, even if you don't know it consciously.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think there's definitely science behind it. I know my pheromones, like, I don't know. It really feels like I can be really turned on by a woman just by the smell. And she might aesthetically not be someone who I was into. And then I go, God, you just smell good.
Yeah, I just need
you want to be
it.
inside of your vagina.
Did we even fucking finish our questions?
Yeah, we're working through it. We got a couple more to go.
I was so derailed. I was
you
like,
were gonna,
what
do you
we
find
doing?
beautiful? Height, weight, race, age, etc. Oh, and age-wise, I used to be into older women, always.
Oh, interesting.
When I was
and then
younger,
you got older.
because they had sexual wisdom and they could kind of teach me and lead me and stuff like that.
Often
and
not as shy.
Now I'm like into women who are definitely younger than me, but I have like a cutoff. I think like anyone who appears to be younger than about 26 just
I'm way
is a turn
less
off for
into
me.
the older I get, the older my people that I like grade gets.
Yeah.
Somehow, like, you know, when you're young, it looks great. It's fantastic.
Sure.
But now it's a little like, ooh. Like
Women in their early 20s look younger than their early 20s to me now because of
Yes, they look not way too young.
But you must have fucked the entire spectrum of men out there, no? Over the course of your work?
Yes. Yeah. In fact, one of the weirdest days of my career is when I was hired to do like a stepmommy type age play scene, totally normal. Male talent arrives, fine.
He's older than you?
No.
Oh, he was too young.
Not literally too young, but
aesthetically.
Like, they dressed him in turtle pajamas. And then I started just like, having conversation, trying to like get to know someone a little bit before you fuck, oh, hey, how was your day? Whatever. Oh, well, I left high school early today.
But he was 18.
Yes, but still.
Damn.
That was.
But you still you did it.
I did do it.
You climbed up on top of that
turtle
fucking
jams, and I did it.
You fucked the shit out of that Ninja Turtle. Damn. Wow.
But yeah, like if I'm out and about dating, too young.
Did you feel a bit weird afterwards? A bit dirty afterwards?
Dirty, no, but I did talk to my agent about my future age preferences.
Right.
Yeah,
and what's the oldest dude you've ever hooked up with?
60s for sure.
That's all right.
Yeah, not sure about 7.
He's probably a zaddy anyway, a bit of a zaddy, right?
Yeah. And lots of older women, mid and late 60s for sure, and women.
But would you fuck someone in their like 80s?
Maybe.
Damn.
Yeah.
There's still a chance for you, boys.
Yeah.
There's still a chance for you out there.
The older I get, like the older I get.
likely that gets.
Yeah. Where you start finding like older people hotter and hotter and hotter.
Let's try next question.
No, I need to know. Like, what's your oldest?
Oh.
I was like, no. You're not getting away with this. Don't even move on to the next question.
The oldest lady I've ever slept with, I think, was when I was in my late 20s. I was running a comedy club in West London.
Okay.
And there was a lady who used to come to all my shows. And at that time, she was in her very early 60s.
Okay.
And she was very well put together, very glamorous, like a glamour nana.
I love it.
Like a super sexy nana.
Yeah.
And she used to flirt with me, and she looked a lot younger than her age in clothing.
But still hot.
In clothing.
Oh, wait.
And then she gave me a lift home one day after the shows, and whatever, she'd flirted outrageously for like a year.
Yeah.
And she gave me a lift home, and I was a bit drunk. This is when I was still drinking, and she was like, oh, should I come in for a drink? Whatever. And I was
should.
Whatever. Come on,
Yeah,
let's do it.
come on in. Let's do this.
And when we got out of clothing, I was actually quite turned off by her physical body because it was, it had seen the ravages of time, had spent time with her. She wasn't necessarily a fitness related woman. She didn't maintain. She hadn't had any surgeries or anything done.
That was my follow-up question.
So everything was kind of hanging down and there, and also her vagina smelled a little funky.
Well, that's not an age thing.
Sure, but also,
but that's not good.
It might have been an age since she'd had to think about that, is the point I'm making. So
you think she's not getting any?
I just think the upkeep of the vagina area was
but that's still personal.
Bats didn't fly out of her.
But there's no dust.
I was like, I'm fucking
out.
a 60-something-year-old woman right now, and it feels like it, and it feels like a turn-off. But guess what? I got the job done.
Did you get the job
through,
done?
and I didn't make her feel bad about
Good
it.
job.
I just talked about it in a podcast 15, 20 years later.
And now she knows.
No, I'm sure she doesn't.
She's still, well, I don't know. She was stalking you then.
Oh, damn. Yeah, you're right. Well, I apologize. I mean, I'll be real. I mean, it could have just been a touch of BV or something like that.
Maybe it was BV. Maybe she's getting dick down 12 times a day and she's got a little pH issue.
There you go. Probably was.
Yeah.
Who am I to know? But that was a moment, actually. That was one of many moments in my life where I realized I'd had sex with someone that I didn't find aesthetically attractive. And I realized that was an unhealthy way to approach connection. Like, I'm fucking people that I'm not even into. You should have
some sort of connection and desire for whoever you're having sex with.
Yeah. And sometimes the mental connection is not enough. It really is not enough.
Well, for guys especially.
Sure.
I mean, that's an actual erection.
So if you can find someone beautiful as a person, it doesn't matter what the aesthetic, the outside vessel is. You could still really be turned on by fucking them just because of how
to a point.
Beautiful
I think there are probably, I don't know what they are, but I'm sure there are limits. And like, how attractive are they mentally to me versus how they look physically and where that like combination is. And they'd also have to be good at what they do. Like, just because I'm looking at them and they're not my type, they still have to make me feel a certain way. You know, I'm still like, they still have to make me come.
How many times have you had to just put it on for the camera? You're not getting the turn on. You're not into the physicality, but you have to show like this is the best.
That definitely happens because you have to make it look like it's the best you've ever been receiving, even if it isn't.
How do you compartmentalize that? See, I couldn't do that, I don't think. I'd have to be like, my face would tell it.
Well, if anything bad is going on, I'm going to change it.
So
you're just talking about things that might not be like making me
No, you're turned off by the
great.
person, but you have to fuck them on camera that day.
Turned off? No.
That's never happened.
But not someone who I've been like, oh my God, I can't wait. My pussy is dripping. This feels like 20 orgasms a minute. You know what I mean? Yeah, because if I turned off by them,
I've never made a woman have 20 orgasms a minute.
I would not work with them.
That sounds like a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of dedication.
It's a professional level of work.
And you've never been that turned off by a co-star that you had to like just
No, because I Google people first. I know what everyone looks like. Talk to my friends. You know their vibe.
You're also high enough in the industry and at a level of success and notoriety where you can be a bit more picky. I imagine there's people down the spectrum and just say, hey, this is.
People say they can't be more picky.
Ivan, and Stinky Ivan's going to fucking dick you down today. And
but
just
you
like,
can.
all right.
Like, even when I was brand new, I was picky.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? So what if you get less work?
Also,
I'm still not going to do what I'm not going to do.
You started in the industry a little bit later than most do.
Yeah.
And like, if you're an impressionable 18-year-old and this is how you got to make money to make your fucking rent.
offer it to you,
they're like,
you might
look,
take
you got to fuck this dude who's pretty gross, but, you know.
But there's going to be a paycheck at the end of it. Some of them will do it,
Some
not
people
me.
will do that.
No.
Well, there's still hope for me yet in the dating scene. Question number 3. What we got?
Question number 3. All right. From Slinky Joe 285.
That's one of your fans, definitely. 100% one of yours.
These are both my fans. Are you making fun of Slinky Joe?
I'm just saying the username like Slinky. I don't have many Slinky Joes in my community.
Descriptor?
Something. He's slinking somewhere.
What is he doing?
I don't know.
He's a flasher.
But he's done it 285 times according to the username.
Or there are 284 other Slinky Joes. It's that fucking popular.
There could be.
Yes.
Could be.
It's the best username there is. All right. Oh my God, we were just kind of talking about this. Can old people be beautiful, or are we just lying to them? Slinky, that's not how you ask a question.
We do lie to a lot of old people.
What do you mean we lie to a lot of old people?
I think once someone's at a certain level of life experience and age, you don't want to unnecessarily upset or be mean to them. We do say a lot of stuff to old people, just like we say a lot of stuff to kids, young kids.
That's a lie.
That might be truthful. Hey, why
are you lying to old people?
Have you ever told someone that their newborn baby is beautiful, even though it looks like a fucking angry beetroot? I have. Have you ever told an old person, God, you're still so beautiful, even though their skin is hanging 7 inches off the bottom of their chin and looks like it's, melting off their face, like that scene in Terminator where he gets dropped in the acid?
I'm never going to believe a compliment again.
No. Yeah. I'd rather not give a fake compliment and just say nothing at all.
Just leave it alone.
But I know over the course of my life, I have lied to people to make them feel good about themselves. I've lied to multiple people to make them feel good about themselves. It's impossible to be completely transparent all the time to people about their aesthetics because it's something we hold so much stock in, and it has such a level of importance in society. Falsely, but it does. You're like, if you're more beautiful, well, you must be more successful.
But do you lie more to old people than you do to young people? Because you're like, we lie to old people,
don't they? So,
no,
I'm joking. It's a joke.
No.
It's a joke. I'm the comic. Remember, I got to make some jokes. No, I think I think there are absolutely beautiful old people.
Yes. Yes, and I don't think that we as a society lie to old people. I feel like there's still, in fact, a lot of old people discrimination.
Yeah, but I think there's also less beautiful old people and more cute old people.
They're
On
just
average,
cute.
Yeah.
Once you hit 60, you're just adorbs.
I'm serious. Like you could be the ugliest 30-year-old. You could be a fucking car crash. But then by the time you turn 60 and those wrinkles set in and you're all right, you put on an extra 50, 60 pounds. Who cares? Now you're an adorable granny.
So you're
or an
plus-upping.
adorable grandfather. And suddenly you're the character from Up, who, let's be real, that guy was not hot, but he was adorable.
He was getting it, though.
He was adorable.
He was adorable.
Adorable.
Well, STIs are at their highest in the older population, so they are getting some.
What?
Yeah. Come on.
I did not know this.
You
Yeah.
didn't know
No.
that? Yeah, old people are just banging like rabbits. They're just like, they are banging so much. They have the highest go.
They're back in it.
Yeah, they're not going to get pregnant.
Sure.
How
Yeah.
are they going to get pregnant? Why not go raw dog in that? Well, the STIs, I guess, would be the reason.
Yeah,
Statistically.
dying of AIDS would be a pretty good reason to not do that.
I think it's AIDS.
Wow, yeah. And
But
actually,
yeah.
that doesn't kill you anymore. Now you can take medication to
Or
mitigate
take
it.
PrEP. I
Right?
hope
Yeah.
if you're elderly and banging like a rabbit, take PrEP.
You're not taking PrEP. You can barely remember to take your vitamin C in the
Stop
morning
it.
or your fish oil.
Have your nurse make sure that your PrEP is in with your blood pressure pills.
It's a good question, though, isn't it? Because, what is... The concepts of what is beautiful when you're old is very different to what it is when you're young. Oh, here we go. Jeff's just pulled up. Seniors still have a lower STI rate than other groups. You fucking lie. This is why we got a fact check.
Listen.
You watched the TikTok. Someone watched the TikTok.
I thought
It
I
has
did.
doubled, though.
Oh, maybe
from
it's the
last 5
fastest,
years.
like, growing population.
It has doubled in the last 5 years. So old people are just out there, because they know there's no time left. They've fucked the planet. These boomers have destroyed the planet. They know we got 5 to 10 good years left. They're like, fuck it. Bezos is sold up. He's got a spaceship. Zuckerberg's building a fucking bunker in Hawaii. Mark Cuban sold all of his shit and has bought seats on the SpaceX flights because they know the planet's dying. I'm gonna bang Doris from down the fucking.
You are.
Down
You're going to bang
the
her
hallway.
good. But new business plan for the two of us.
What?
Senior Citizen Swinger Club.
Oh, I love that.
Let's do this.
Why would we set that up as a business?
Why
though? Where's
wouldn't
the
we?
money for us? Because one hip out of place, that's a legal battle waiting to happen. I don't know if we can. Can you imagine the insurance cover you'd have to have for that?
Grab bars on all the BDSM equipment.
It's out of time. How heavy does money come into beauty? Because what is beauty to a rich person versus beauty to a poor person? Because I think they're very different concepts. Depending
What
on
do you mean?
If you're from a very wealthier background, upbringing, you have lots of money at your disposal, I think the concept of beauty is very much skewed towards the mainstream concepts. Whatever the latest...
Like what you can buy.
High-end fashion. The models that model those high-end fashion.
Hairstyle.
Listen, every rich girl I've ever fucked in my entire life has always looked kind of a similar way. They've always kind of been very thin, fitness-oriented, very much they use a vast amount of
all
incredibly
kinds of skincare,
expensive creams. This Elizabeth Arden cream from Under My Eyes that I use 3 times a month. I have to buy this. Costs $370.
Yeah.
This, this fucking. They get fillers. They get lip injections. They do things to match
facials, masks, spa days, all of it.
Exactly. Whereas if you're on the poverty line, you're not worrying about getting Elizabeth Arden $400 creams.
No.
So how do you get beauty in the different kind of earning or financial sections of society?
I feel that's like you're born with it or you're not. And if you're not wealthy, you can't afford plastic surgery, for example. So if the bimboification plastic surgery thing was your fetish, then that would only be for either the rich or the people willing to spend all of their income
Which
to
some
look
people
a certain
do.
way.
Can you get that guy up? You know, the guy who's had like something like 152 surgeries and counting.
And is this guy like rich?
Ken doll. He's like the real Ken doll. He wasn't that wealthy. I think he's monetized his aesthetics now.
Sure.
But he wasn't, and he
was just spending the lion's share of his income on these modifications.
Yeah, the human Ken doll. Justin
I've seen him on something.
He's had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of surgery, which have totaled probably at this point, I would say millions of dollars worth of surgery. You know, how much has he spent on it? Maybe how much money has he spent on his surgeries?
Yeah, I want to know. Even though the internet, but still.
But he wasn't a wealthy dude. I saw an interview with him, and he wasn't a wealthy dude when he first started. Here we go. Look, lifestyles of the rich and inspired by watch. Look, there you go. He inspired by watching lifestyles of the rich and famous as a teen. So money and the concept of beauty relating to money is what turned him into a guy.
And you could say that this is an expensive beauty look. So maybe much like Coco Chanel's tan, this is a sign of wealth. Like, look what I can afford.
100%.
Look what I can afford to do to my body.
Hey, have you got the same note? Oh, you've been to Dr. So-and-so. You've got money to get the right note.
The Beverly Hills, 100%. Whatever, yeah.
Jedlicka has undergone approximately 190 cosmetic procedures, and that's of 2012. So by now, who knows how many hundreds.
Yeah.
Not just his face either.
Oh, my God.
No, his body.
What do you
He's
mean?
got
Does he have a penile
bicep implants, pecs. Biceps, shoulder implants, chest, triceps, brow shaving, lifts, cheek augmentations, subpectoral implants, glutoplasty, and lip augmentations. Now, listen, you are a woman who now is considered certainly within the wealthiest subsection of society. You make good money from your business. You've made good investments. You're intelligent as well as, you know, attractive enough to make some bank in the fucking porn world. Call it what it is, right? So, you have money at your disposal. How many surgeries have you had? We sort of lightly touched on this at the beginning, but we never went into it. You talked about breasts.
2.
Just 2.
Breasts twice.
Breasts twice. And nothing else. You've never done anything else.
But my one that I was going to tell you that I just did like a month ago, because I was getting really, really self-conscious about my forehead wrinkles. Look, I can't do it. Look.
Is that as high as you can lift your eyes?
That's it. And, like, it's interesting because...
It's 9/11. The second plane has just gone into the building. Show me the shock.
I know.
Is that what it would have been?
But the problem is, like...
Never forget. She never fucking remembered. She couldn't even remember. Unbelievable.
Yeah, so like, yes, it met my goal of getting rid of the forehead wrinkles I didn't like, but now, like, literally, how am I supposed to do, like, the Brazzers face? Like, it's so big.
Oh,
like,
my
is
God.
it? Am I even selling how big it is anymore?
I don't know. Let me see. No.
I know.
You don't look as excited.
I'm not as excited about it. So, like, this will be the last time.
That's a really interesting
enjoy
one.
the wrinkle-free moment while it lasts, because I'm not doing this again. Because, like, that cock...
How long does that last
for? When I did that cock looked 4 inches at best. That was the surprise level I was giving.
I said, how long does the wrinkle reduce? And long?
Yeah. Like months.
So that will stay for months and then...
Yes. And then go away.
And what is it, Botox?
No, but it is like it's like a Dysport, but like it's Botox.
Look, this is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The fact that you don't even know the exact thing that you had put in your fucking face.
Literally,
that's
like
concerning.
A bastardization of the same toxin that people used to die from with canned food. Fucking botulism toxin.
Jesus, yeah, I don't...
In my face.
And that's all the things you've had, though. 2 breast augmentations.
And then like a million like laser chemical peels, my skin, lots of facials, microdermabrasion, regularly.
Damn.
Yeah, regularly. My hair's fake.
Really?
Uh-huh.
What do you mean fake?
Well, I mean, it's real hair. I didn't grow it out of my head, though.
Oh, it's like glued in?
Yeah. It's
wow.
Pretty much.
Oh, not...
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Did they stick it into your head?
No, you can. It's like tapes.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's pretty normal.
This isn't a weave, but I have had weaves.
That's super normal. That I think is very normalized, and a lot of women use like clip-ins or glued in hair or whatever.
I used to do clip-ins, but like I work in an aspect where I want long, glamorous hair, and they do pull your hair.
Yeah, there's a lot of hair pulling in porn.
Yeah, they come right out. Yeah.
You're actually, I would say then in the porn scheme of porn, you're probably actually on the lower end of things that have been done.
I'm also I'm not just like, I am a pornographer, but I'm a fetish pornographer, right? I'm not like the new ingenue or the beautiful babe. I don't know that they could get away with this.
You're our beautiful babe, am I right, Jeff?
Oh.
He's not even listening. He's staring at the screen right now.
He's pretending he's like, I refuse to answer the question.
On the internet because you're so beautiful.
Hopefully it's my little butthole.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, because I'm in an old age genre, looking older is good. It's like, it is my fetish.
So
you know
now,
what I mean?
So now you need to actually
So
like
less
age
is more. Less
honestly.
is more.
You know who's a good person for that is Nina
Hartley.
She's so gorgeous and
my
sexy.
God.
There's a beautiful old person that I
There's a
could
beautiful
say.
woman.
She's a beautiful, mature lady, but
Yeah,
she is
she
older.
is.
She's an older woman now.
And like her vibe, like, yes, she's beautiful. If you just put a picture up of her, she's
Yeah.
a stunning woman. But like, have you been one-on-one with her?
I've seen interviews with her. She seems like a lovely woman. Yeah, she's got a good
The
soul.
like energy that comes off of her,
Yeah,
phenomenal.
love that.
Phenomenal.
If she was on a running machine, got sweaty, you'd like her pheromones. You're
Oh
into
my
it.
God, yes. Yes.
We're gonna have to sort of wrap it in a minute, but I feel like we've so much we've missed out on.
I know, but these are all such good.
Let's finish up on this. Actually, let me
Okay,
finish
okay,
up
you
on
tell
this.
me, you tell me.
Which is how far is too far? Because we've talked about a bunch of things that you've done. I've not done anything. You were gonna ask me.
I was going to ask, and then I like got derailed.
It's all right.
Yes, you've done nothing. No
So-
Botox, no fillers.
No Botox, no filler.
Nothing?
What I have done once, my ex in the UK, who's in entertainment as well,
Yeah.
and very notable in that, and has actually now, as far as I understand it, has done a huge amount of different surgeries to their face and body. But she went to get some injections just under here to basically plump out. It's like collagen injections, you know, that just
like
kind
fillers?
of. It's kind of a
Fillers?
filler, but it's not like it's not a synthetic thing. It's almost like collagen to like
Do they
plump
take
here.
something out of your own body, like the fat grafting?
Yeah, and then it wasn't fat grafting. It was like injections, but it basically stimulates the collagen here. Maybe it's
Okay.
just fillers. Maybe it's just a
Okay.
filler. But I had like 1, 2, 3 little injection, like pimp, pimp, pimp.
Did you look
And it-
different right away?
Well, what it did is it like plumped up here.
Okay.
After a few days, it kind of
Yeah.
plumped up here, and then it dissipates over like 6 months. They said you have to get it redone in 6 months. That's the only thing I've ever done.
Well, I do microneedling, which is supposed to plump your collagen.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I want my collagen plumped.
Yeah.
Because I got quite like deep set eyes. That's the Romanian kind of Macedonian kind of look, you know. And I got
I do
cheekbones,
too.
but it still makes me look a bit tired all the time. I wouldn't mind looking like a little less tired,
Yeah.
but I don't want to get rid of my lines. I think that's for an actor, especially. You
Yeah,
know?
it was. I mean,
I wanna be able
again,
to look
you want
surprised at
it
9
to look
inches.
like a 12-inch dick. You'd be like, that man is looking at a hog.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
Every
I
time I
know.
look down at my own picture,
Yeah.
oh my god, it's so big.
Yeah. That's it every time.
Why is it that color? You know what I
Shocking.
mean? Like just so weird. Oh, why is it 2 of them? It splits at the end. This is weird. I want to be able to give it that kind of thing.
Bifurcated cock?
How far is too far? Let's finish up on that. What's too far?
Sorry, now I have like this.
Our viewers are going to want to know. They want to know where do you draw the line? What's too far?
When it becomes unhealthy.
Yeah, but that could be any level
No,
for
like-
anyone.
well, because
for
for
you,
me,
let's be
like-
specific for you. What would be too far if you were considering
I'll
doing
tell
a
you
surgery?
something.
Where would you go? You know what? I'm going a little bit off the
I'm not
rails
going to
here.
do any other body modifications. And if I knew what I know now about aging in my body, I love these and I don't regret them at all. But anytime you cut into your body, you create scar tissue,
Yeah.
right? And that scar tissue has all kinds of complications.
Sure.
Like just because I did something here, like this scar tissue, even though I have the money to get more body work than most people can afford,
Sure.
has affected my neck.
Yeah.
For sure. Like there's no surgery in isolation, and bigger surgeries like, you know, the bigger implants or the massive amounts of lipo, you're going to be creating the inability for your fascia to move on top of itself. And even if you decrease the motion of your arm or your neck or your spine or your torso a couple degrees,
You're fucking yourself up long
you're
term.
really, and I know that unfortunately, because as we speak right now, these 2 fingers are tingling, and I absolutely think it's because of neck range of motion changes.
Nah, it's your spidey sense.
It's my spidey sense.
Yeah. You know there's a dick somewhere that
Yeah,
needs to be
and I'm
melts
like-
and your fingers are feeling it.
It'll
like-
start doing this soon,
Oh.
just automatically. And then until I get that dick, it doesn't
And like
stop.
Thor's hammer,
It
a
doesn't.
dick will just
It-
fly through the air and
How'd you
land in
know?
your hand. I know. Because if we're over a certain size, we can feel the tingle too.
Yeah.
I'm not quite the
Yeah.
12 inches, so I won't be the dick that flies into your hand, but I can just feel a little sense. It's like twinging.
Yeah, it's like, oh.
For me, here's what I think is too far.
Yeah.
I heard recently that this is a new popular thing amongst
Mm-hmm.
the gay community, which is anal. Can we bring this up, Jeff? Anal sphincter lifts. So the lift of an anal.
Where are they putting it?
What? They're taking it onto their forehead for easier
That
access.
is really lifted.
The middle of their chest, like Iron Man. It's like where the power goes in. They just, do you want a chest job? Yeah, I'm into it. No, if you look this up, it's a real thing. This is a real thing that I heard about recently, which is men basically getting their buttholes tightened. And their anal surgically their sphincters are being lifted and tightened. Can you find it like buttholes
How do you
tightening?
know this and I don't know this?
No, because you're not as tapped into the gay community
Butthole
as I am, apparently. Here you go, anal fistula. The aim of surgery is to heal the
No, that's different.
Oh, okay.
No,
right.
that's like, you need to fix that. That's not the gay one.
Oh, yeah, the lift procedure. Here we go.
The lift?
Yeah, the lift procedure.
That.
Yeah, for fistula in ano. So basically...
So they're only doing it if you have an issue?
No. That you can go and get it done as a surgical procedure now, as a beauty procedure, to basically tighten your sphincter and they basically lift the sphincter and they sort of tighten and twist it and lift it slightly so that it feels tighter to go in. Oh. So basically, if you've got a loose butthole, which I don't know how baggy is your butthole?
You know, she's seen a lot of cock.
How baggy is your butthole? New feature for the next episode.
There's no rosebud situation yet.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right, fair enough,
she's
fair enough.
all on the inside.
You don't leak when you cough?
Yeah, no.
All right,
no,
perfect. All right.
No.
Well, that's why I think it's too far. Listen, I think we've gone too far on this episode, ladies and gentlemen.
Way too far on this episode.
Before we leave, a couple of things. Please get in touch with us. Be part of the conversation. The best way to do that is to head to patreon.com/Comic Cougar Convo. Go and look at the different tiers, see which one suits you. Be a part of our community and come and support us. And that way we can do bigger and better stuff with your funding. Also, go and check out the YouTube channel, youtube.com/Comic Cougar Convo is the username over there. Make sure you sub up. Give us some likes. Give us some comments. Be engaged.
Follow us on Instagram so at least you'll know when all the episodes are dropping. Like, get a tiny bit of BTS, you know, some fun stuff, some silly clips. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And we'll see you next time on Comic
Cougar.
It's a Convo. See you then. Bye.